Hey guys, Mr. Everything here, back with another movie review video, and in today's video, we're going to be reviewing Avengers Infinity War. Alright, it's the movie we've all been waiting for. I saw this movie yesterday on Thursday, I'm going to go see it again today. Super hyped, and just giving my initial thoughts, man, I thought it was great. It was just amazing. All these amazing characters played by these amazing actors, just the 10 years of the MCU, the culmination, just everything. This movie was great. Can't wait for you guys to see it if you haven't seen it already. But by the way, this is a movie review. It's not a spoiler review. So don't worry, it's no spoilers in this. I'm not going to get into anything specific. I'm going to talk about some things that's in the trailer, but that's pretty much it. But just jumping into my review. So my basic formats for my review. So this screen you're looking at right now, which is the thumbnail of the video, the poster, movie review, title of the film. Don't worry, you're not going to be looking at the screen the whole video. I'm going to add clips and images from the film, but just to cut down on editing, because I like to get these reviews out as quick as possible for you guys. You're just going to be looking at the screen the majority of the review, but yet again, don't worry, I'm going to add clips and images. And then also my basic format for reviews, I basically just talk about, the actors and the characters, my positives, my negatives, and then give my score. So starting off with the actors, is everybody's in here. You got Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Chris Pratt, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Tom Holland, Benedict Cumberbatch, Benedict Wong, Chadwick Boseman, Letitia Wright. Just everybody's in here. Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany, just all your favorite characters are in here. And that's one of my positives. Just all the characters are just all amazing. But jumping into my first positive, it will be the character interactions. These new character interactions. So we've seen this in the trailer, so this isn't a spoiler. But obviously you see Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and the Guardians sort of meet together. We see that in the trailers. Just I love that whole scene, scene with Iron Man. And, you see in the trailer where Star-Lord's breaking down his plan, and Iron Man's just like, oh my God, I'm with a bunch of idiots, which he really is, because Drax and Star-Lord, they're all a little bit on the short end of stick when it comes to like things, you guys know what I mean. But yeah, just I love all the character interactions. Obviously, we see in the trailer the battle on Wakanda. Yet again, not a spoiler. All I'll say is I love the interactions on there. Just it's just so amazing. I'm just thinking about it. It's just, and then Captain America's on there. My boy Cap, just this is great. Jumping to my next positive, it will be the humor. The humor with the characters. The humor in this film, I loved. It worked perfectly. There wasn't a moment in this film where I'm like, you guys are overdoing it. But you know where I did feel like they were overdoing it? In a couple of their films. Specifically, Guardians Volume 2. I like Guardians Volume 2. I think it's a C movie, though. I really, really, really wish they didn't do so much humor, and they could have, because we look at films like Spider-Man Homecoming, like most of the Marvel movies, but like Spider-Man Homecoming and Thor Ragnarok specifically, where they have humor in the film, but mainly the humor works, but also they give their characters depth and everything. Whereas Guardians Volume 2, it just seemed like joke, 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 and while it was funny, they did it so much that they overdid it. Some jokes did, well, most of the jokes didn't hit, and yeah, you didn't really feel anything. But I got Volume 2. I got the point of it. I got the message. I'm not gonna be an idiot about it. I'm not gonna be completely oblivious to it. Oh, it's not just about joke. I know that, but you guys know what I mean. If you guys watch Volume 2, you can't tell me you're not slightly disappointed, because the movie overall is meh, and it's meh because they had so many jokes and stuff in there. But this movie, every joke works, and going back to the character interactions, you get that like I said, that whole scene with the Guardians where he meets Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange. It's just so funny. Just all those interactions, it's just so great. I'm thinking about it right now, which is why I'm like laughing and stuff. It's just so amazing. But jumping into my next positive, it will be Thanos. I love Thanos in this movie, played by Josh Brolin. They killed it, man. Thanos is so amazing. I feel like the main thing I love about Thanos, and I feel like a lot of you guys are gonna love about him too, is his nobleness. We see in the trailer, we see him say this line, "I hope they remember you." Listen to the tone of his voice. It's something so human about the tone in his voice, so noble about that. There are a lot of moments in this film where he says lines just like that. He says that line in the movie, but he also says lines just like that. Just his voice is so calming at sometimes. And obviously he's menacing and tough. And he's stronger than everybody, by the way, with or without the Infinity Stones. You see that at the beginning of the film. he's kicking ass without Infinity Stones, or with just one Infinity Stone. I'm sorry. So with all the Infinity Stones, he's pretty much, unstoppable or unstoppable. So just it just he's so great. And like I said, I feel like the main thing I loved about him is his nobleness and the humanization of him, really, because they really humanized him in a way where it's like he's this big tough, titan and everything, and you don't want to mess with him, you want to fear him. But there are, like I said, there are a lot of moments in this film where he has that tone in his voice and he's getting emotional. There's a scene where he actually gets emotional. You would think this, this fearless titan would be emotionless. You get his plan, and the basic story for Infinity War, if you guys don't know, but I'm assuming you guys already know. That's why I didn't say that at the beginning of this video. But the basic story for this film, Thanos, he's trying to get all 6 of the Infinity Stones so he can snap his finger to erase all, not all, but half of the universe. And you look at that motivation, you're like, I don't really, you don't necessarily agree with him, like, Killmonger and Black Panther. You don't necessarily agree with him or get where he's coming from. I mean, you get where he's coming from, but you're like, yeah, this is totally the wrong way to go about things. You can't erase half of the universe. But the thing I think people relate to him so much is the humanization of him. Like I said, the nobleness, the times in the movies where he gets emotional. It's something very human about that. And also the CG added on to that. The CG for Thanos is, man, it's spot on. It looks really good. Of course, you could pick out moments where it's like, oh, that looks like CG, but throughout the whole movie, pretty much, Thanos looks pretty good. He looks pretty sharp. CG does not look bad at all. It looks very good. So Thanos, by far, best character in the movie, main character in the movie. And we heard that from the Russo brothers a while ago. They said Thanos was going to be the main character, and he is. This is Thanos' story. You love Thanos. I don't get how you can't. And like I said, you don't necessarily get his point. Like, yet again, you get where he's coming from, but you're like, this guy is evil. He's trying to kill half of the universe. How do I relate to him? How you relate to him is add some good ass CGI. Like I said, the CGI is really good, and also make him noble. Give him humanization. Don't just make him the big mustache twirling, oh, ma ha ha, I will destroy half the universe. He is not like that at all throughout the film. And even when he is kicking ass, he still stays noble. And this might be a minor spoiler, but it's not even a spoiler. There's a lot of shots in the film where he's like rubbing people's heads. Yeah, I just like, there's about 3 or 4 times where he pats or rubs people's heads. I'm not gonna say which characters, but yet again, he's being very noble in all of those moments. He's telling that character something while he's patting it. There's something so human about him. I love Thanos. That's all I'm gonna say there. I don't want to get into more specifics. Thanos is the greatest villain in the MCU. Killmonger, I would say, is tied with him. Loki is second. I think he passes Loki by a long shot. Thanos is the best villain. And my last positive, which isn't really my last, because I love this movie in whole, but if I was to pick one thing, it's the Russo brothers. Now, this is actually more of a behind the scenes, has nothing to do with the actual movie, because they're not in the movie. But if you guys don't know, the Russo brothers are the directors of this film. They directed Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Captain America: Civil War, obviously this movie, Avengers: Infinity War, and they directed Avengers 4. They shot both of these films back to back. I love the Russo brothers. They did the best directing they could have did in this movie. Like, they overdid themselves. Like, I don't even know where Avengers 4 goes from here. Like, they overdid themselves. It's so amazing. I love the Russo brothers and how they started off with the Winter Soldier. Fairly small characters. You had Cap in there, introduction of Falcon, Black Widow, Nick Fury, Kobe Smulders. Just a few characters. Really good movie. Civil War, a lot of people were thinking like, oh no, it's too many characters. There's no way this movie's going to work. Civil War obviously had all the Avengers minus Hulk and Thor, and that movie worked. And in this movie, even more characters, and it still worked. Now, yeah, you could probably complain in some moments like, oh, it's too much going on, but overall, I felt like the pacing was perfect. They gave every character their moment to shine. And they said that in an interview. I believe somebody asked them a very good question, like, how do you give everybody equal time? How do you balance this, the Russo brothers? And they were like, you can't. Like, even if this movie was 6 hours, still everybody wouldn't get enough screen time. But what you do is you give everybody their moment. And everybody gets their awesome shine moment. And I love it. That is the way you go about it. That is the perfect way you go about it. And I think the Russo brothers are the best thing Marvel has had. Now, I'm not going to say it's the best thing for everything, because I would say Jon Favreau is the best thing for the start of the MCU. Obviously, Jon Favreau, he directed the first Iron Man, which is the first Iron Man, or the first MCU movie. He also directed the second Iron Man. I feel like Jon Favreau is the best thing that happened for the beginning of the MCU, the starting of the MCU, and for the Iron Man franchise. I would say James Gunn is the best thing that happened for the Guardians, because I don't think anybody else could direct a Guardians movie like James Gunn. They could have directed a Guardians movie, but it wouldn't have been as good. You could say the same thing about all the other directors. Ryan Coogler was the best thing for Black Panther. The Russo brothers are the best thing for having 50 characters in a movie and making it feel perfectly balanced, as Thanos says in the movie and in the trailers. Everybody feels perfectly balanced. And I just love the Russo brothers. They knocked it out the park. Thank you, the Russo. Thank you. Like, I just want to put. They're not watching this, but thank you. I truly, you guys killed it. But jumping into my negatives, it's not much. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video, you could look at sometimes in a movie where it feels like too much is going on. But you have to do that. Like, not every character is going to be in the same place. You see in the trailer, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, the Guardians, they're all together on their own mission. You see the battle in Wakanda, with Captain America, Black Widow, Black Panther, like, they're all in Wakanda. So, yes, it does feel like so much is going. But I feel like the editing and the pacing was so well done. It's really not that complicated. Like, you could get the story. Yeah, sure, it feels like so much is going on, but I don't feel like it's like, oh my god, so much. Like, I honestly feel like it was perfect for the film. And then my second negative, which this is the main negative for me, which I'm not so mad about though, but it's the main one. There are some undercut characters. Everybody in the marketing was complaining, where's Ant-Man? Where's Hawkeye? All I'm gonna say is they did that for a reason, you guys. They did it for a reason. They did it for a very good reason. And and that's the main thing for a lot of these characters. Not every character gets a lot of screen time. And it breaks my heart because it's like, oh, I wanted to see more of you. Oh, that character was in it. And when you walk out the movie, you realize, yeah, a lot of characters didn't get a lot of screen time because Thanos got the most screen time, because Thanos is the best MCU villain and he's the main character of the movie. But I don't think it undercut the movie. But yeah, it does kind of suck because when you think about it, after you walk out the movie, you're like, wow, this character didn't get that much screen time. This character didn't get that much. Like, so yeah, it was. Yeah, it kind of hurt me, and especially with Hawkeye and Ant-Man, like I said, there's a very good reason why they're not in the marketing. I'm going to leave it there. You guys that have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. There's a very good reason why you don't see Ant-Man in the poster, you don't see Hawkeye in the poster, you don't see Ant-Man in the trailer, you don't see Hawkeye in the trailer. There's a good reason. And it goes the same for a lot of these characters. They don't get a lot of screen time, but that's all. I'm going to leave it there. That's all my negatives. I could probably think of some more, but overall, really enjoyed this film. You guys comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of it. If you've seen it, let me know when you're seeing it. If you haven't seen it, I am going to give Avengers Infinity War I'm going to give it a A. I'm going to give it A for Avengers. I love this movie. I love this journey you guys have taken me on personally. I started this channel off. I'm not gonna get super emotional or dig into it, but I started this off because I was a fan of movies and I'm a fan of Marvel and stuff, and just what this channel has come to, just how big it's grown. Not super big, but just what it's come to. And I appreciate you guys commenting and liking, and I appreciate all the comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Just a nice little small YouTube channel just for fun. And I really enjoyed what I did. But anyway, if you guys are new, be sure to like and subscribe. Just check out Infinity War. Let me know what you guys thought of it after you see it. Be sure to like and subscribe. Like I said, check out my other movie review videos, Marvel videos, Avengers videos, and have a great rest of your day. All right, bye, guys.